Wednesday night, 1 hour later, as you all know. So good evening for those of you, I guess, on the East Coast, Central. It's still early evening, and West Coast and Hawaii. Good afternoon.
Right.
Welcome everybody. We even have the monitor up today, and this is the same dungeon that we were in Sunday, but we did a little bit of modifications. Members that were with us got to witness some construction. A United States Marine combat engineer. I didn't know the sticker was in there. Original Waterman. All right, welcome everybody.
Maybe Jay recognizes the desk.
SFMF Live Wednesday night. Good evening. Welcome. Hot topics for tonight. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. I'm gonna let some more people join us.
Stop, dog.
Doc, guys, producer made an appearance. Oh my God, what a day. You saw her? She tried to sneak back there. You saw her?
Delete that one.
Yes.
Put it on private.
She was on there.
He stressed me out.
Dixon, Disability Consulting Company, single member, LLC, Marine veteran. I definitely want to hear more about that. Carl Green is here. Carrie Ann Marie Potts. Let's see, can you come live now? Tanya, she's right here. I wonder what would happen if I pulled her over here in front of the camera. Number one topic, the producer. Era, miss you at the West Coast Drone Instructor Association reunion. Sergeant Major Overstreet was a guest of honor. I love Sergeant Major Overstreet. He's awesome. Hashimoto, good to see you, brother. How was it?
We're waiting for that email and never got it.
Yeah, you know, I actually did send an email this time. I see it when it happens, and I'm usually somewhere I can't make it. I probably could have made this one. Could I?
Did you get the email?
But I never got the email back. Right? We submitted. And we're waiting for an email, and just not too sure about those DI reunions. So hopefully it went well. USMC Vet is here. I'm finally here, but I can only stay an hour. Glad you're here, brother. Hang out as long as you can. Dixon Yerma, I can walk any veteran through a claim, start to finish, for the most affordable price out there. Truly, I care. We believe you, and we're going to talk about, we always do end up talking about the disability claim towards the end. All right, John McJunkin and crew is here. Good evening to you, everyone. He's got everyone on there.
Carrie Ann Marie, you can come live now.
Hashimoto said it was amazing. No worries. We'll be there for the 38th. All right. I'm down. It's been a while. And I do spend time on MCRD. We talk to drone instructors. I had did a couple of videos on a couple of shorts, so check those out in the channel if you can. I'd like to see other countries give them. It's from Jay Lewis. I see some other countries give older fellas a chance to join the military. Sometimes when you're young, just can't do it. Once you're older, you wish you had it done. So the U.S. military they're talking about bumping up the age right now. That's 28 is the max on all the services. You get a waiver up to 35, 34. They're talking about upping that waiver to 42, something like that. So Canada and America. Hello from Brazil, Adriano. Good to see you. Glad you're here. October 18th, I'm signed up, 3-person team. Doc, did you sign up on our team? Doc said he signed up for the 18th. Did you see that? All right. Doc says, all right, Sergeant Major Producer, let's kick the live off right away with God at the center of positivity, leading the charge. Today's not just another day, it's another opportunity to grow, to lead. Awesome, Doc, because our first topic is the dangers of poor leadership. So perfect. And we give it all to God every single day. David Bryant, what's up, my brother? Good evening, Sergeant Major, producer, members, guests. I'm back, but only at 50%. I ran out of dirt, which explains the 50% recovery. We're glad you're here. David, hang out as long as you can, brother. So glad you're back. Good to see you. And continue on with Doc is, and to inspire, to lead and to inspire. No matter what comes our way, we'll face it with discipline, faith, relentless energy. Together, we'll keep pushing forward with courage, integrity, and purpose. Amen and amen. That's why we're here. Let's get it. Strong minds, strong hearts, and God guiding every step of the way. Praise God. And God is good, man, all the time. Bala Smitty is here with Chestnut. Tune in for today's live stream. It's gonna be a good one, talking about poor leadership. you know that all too well, and the dangers of it. So hang tight. M. Lance, can you tell us a story from the Marines? That's what we do here. That's all we do. So hang out, like and subscribe if you haven't already. From the producer, thank you all for being here. We appreciate every single one of you. I'm telling you, without a doubt, this is what we look forward to. Life is crazy. This is our saving grace. This is our grace land. This is our woo-saw time. Adam East is here. Double tap that screen right now. Tap it, like and subscribe if you aren't already. You see the names in green are members. What we've been doing with the members is we do a little pre-flight right before the live, talk about the topics. And today they got to see me hang that crooked picture behind us. I think somebody's giving me bum scoop and said it was straight, but it's not. No, so our country is sponsoring us, so we will be in the race. Oh, your company is sponsoring. Okay, all right, we'll see you. We're signed up. We are. Anyone else want to sign up for the Bootcamp Challenge? Let us know. I can't see the name, but someone asked what SFMF stands for. If you can pull it back down. Simplify, my friend. All right, hang out. McBerg forever. Mr. Berg forever. Good to see you, brother. Thank you. Hope you're well. Random question. Where do Marines go for cold weather and mountain training? Great question. MC... What's it called?
Barstow? No.
No, Bridgeport. Marine. I can't remember the acronym. Mountain Warfare Training Center. Mountain MWTC. MWTC, Bridgeport, California. Mountain Warfare Training Schedule. Mountain Warfare Training Center is the main one. We do send some to extreme cold weather training, but Mountain Warfare Training Center is amazing. It's amazing. They have winter and summer training. They have battalion training. Then they have leadership classes for MWTC. Went with my battalion a few times. The engineers, we went one time just to rebuild some stuff. In fact, the first time we went there, they used to use donkeys, right? Pack mules. And they had stables for them. Marines were assigned to those stables. One time when they got rid of the donkeys, we went there and destroyed them all. What? And then we went through the package, the cold weather training package. And then with the infantry, we went all the time. As a battalion, cold weather, winter, summer. And I even had the opportunity to go to the summer mountain leaders course and the winter mountain leaders course. And it's intense. It's really, really intense training, which kind of right up to our first topic of tonight, dangers of poor leadership. I witnessed it there firsthand. First time I went, I was a sergeant, and it's for staff NCOs and officers. So I was the most junior man in this class. All staff sergeants and up. Just staff sergeants and gunnery sergeants, a couple lieutenants, a couple captains, and I was a sergeant. And it was intense. Like the very first day, you run a PFT just to see if you can hang throughout the training. And because of altitude, they take off 2 minutes for your PFT. That's the altitude that'll kick your butt. And that was the first time ever in my career, ever, up to that point and beyond. Never in my life have I seen an officer fail the PFT. Took it twice, failed it. So obviously he got sent home. But that's the rigors of Mountain Warfare Training Center. It's awesome. Right? We were climbing hundreds of feet, some top roping with no ropes. Yes. Oh. SEER training. We did a portion of SEER training, not the actual SEER training, but it was good. We had like a 12-day war. They drop you off in the middle of nowhere and they just look for you. Snow caves, right? One time I was in June and there was a blizzard. I was in the Summer Mountain Leaders course in June. One of the worst blizzards they had had in a long time. We built snow caves, which you just dig a hole into the side of a mountain. Once you dig the hole big enough and we're 4-man teams, you light it to harden the snow. It settles a little bit. So we all went down and you're tired. You've been practicing pew pew, fighting wars and dodging the instructors. So 4 of us dig this hole we think is big enough for us and our packs. We slide in there, get in our sleeping bags. Everything's good. You have to have a candle, right? A lit candle or lighted. Depends on if you've been to a mess night or not. You light the candle and it's got to stay lit all night. Serves 2 purposes. It helps harden your snow cave and it lets you know if there's no oxygen in there. You'll lose oxygen if the blizzard or snow if your door gets covered, right? You have a little entrance. And this ain't no elaborate snow cave. This is survival. So you're digging into the mountain. And you're waiting. So we all went to sleep, right? All 4 of us side by side, snuggled, trying to stay warm. And our candle went out. And I don't know how I knew or what, but I did one of them wake up freaking out already. And the candle was out. So it's pitch black in there. Our door got covered. There's a blizzard outside. So our door got covered. And I went to sit up because it was big enough for us to sit up. We couldn't stand up or anything, but we could sit up. When I went to sit up, boom! I'm telling you, inches from our face, the cave had settled. A little too much. Yes, maybe we would have dug it a lot higher had I known it was going to settle that much. So now I'm freaking out. Woke everybody up, and you can't move in there now, and you got to remember where the door is because you can't see. So we just start digging, and you're pulling snow in to find the exit or entry, your doorway, but that snow you're pulling in, where's that going? You're in a small hole. So, and they're saying, stop, no more snow, no more snow. It's going though. And they're getting buried, packed in. I'm frantic, right? I'm getting out of this cave. This ain't how I'm going down. So I'm digging the snow out. And they're like, stop. Everyone's trying to yell and you can't hear it anyway, because it's, and the blizzard's going on outside. I'm telling you, it was chaos. Finally poke my hand through and I find it, and I saw the moon a little bit, so I knew that was outside. And then just crawled out and turned around and just were yanking my buddies out. That was just the beginning. That was our survival. Outside your hole, your cave, we put our snow skis at a cross right at the entrance. So the fire watch knew where all the caves were. Because again, you can't tell once the snow blows, and especially if your door gets covered, you don't know where anyone is. So now we're standing out there, 4 of us freezing, blizzard's still going on. We can't even see skis. I mean, we saw they're laying down, the blizzard had blown the skis over. So we started looking and yelling. You can't hear anything. We're digging where we thought the other holes were, and we found a couple. We're pulling people out. Freaking out. I thought we were all going to die. So while they're still digging people out, looking for the fire watch, I go and find the instructor's cave. I'm like, these guys got to know, man, this is dangerous. They better get some emergency personnel out here and save us all. This is unheard of. So I go and they have a poncho liner over their door. I'm like, that's cool. Must have a pretty big cave in there. Bro, I go in this cave. And first, as soon as I walk in, they all start yelling, what are you doing in here? You better get the hell out of here. I felt like a recruit. And not only is their cave big, and there's a couple lanterns and a little fire going. They had a thing cut out, was like a chimney. They had built furniture out of the snow, right? A table and benches around the table, and they're chilling hard, like they're on vacation somewhere. And I'm covered in snow, I'm frozen, trying to explain to them, you got to come out. You got to come out. Everyone's buried. We can't find anybody, and all the caves collapse, and it's chaos out there. And they still stuck to their guns and said, "Get the hell out of here. Go back in your cave." chaos. We all survived. There was one, our class leader at the time. He was a captain. He was a senior man, so he kind of got thrust into that position. This dude lost it. There's a cocoon-like existence, is what they call it in cold weather training. He gave up. He never, while we were all digging and fighting and pulling each other out, he just laid there. He wouldn't move. So now half the platoon is, we're digging the whole cave, and we get out and it collapses, and he's covered in snow, and he's just sitting there covered in snow. We're freaking out trying to get him, and he stopped moving, nothing. And we literally dragged him all the way to the instructor's hooch and said, hey, here's our class leader, man, you got to do something. He's done. And that's what he had, that cocoon-like existence. He gave up. He was fine medically. He was fine, but we didn't see him after that. They took him back to the rear, and he's gone. But interesting. Thanks for asking that question about cold weather training.
John McJunkin.
Ago,
he said, more bad news. We have to explain. One of the cadets was involved in a crash in which he was riding an ATV without a helmet and flipped the ATV on top of him. They ask if he's doing all right now.
A recruit, a Poolee, McJunkin. I missed that horrible news. A Poolee, I'm guessing, or a cadet was riding an ATV, no helmet, flipped it. The ATV landed on him. Horrible. Praying that he's okay. What is he? Is he stable?
That's how he's doing, but
Yeah, if you could, McJunkin, let us know. Wow. Horrible. Hope he's all right. I guess talking about MREs. I love some MREs. Beanies and baby. Yes. Beef or pork with large chunks. It's gross. Yes, prayers up. McJunkin, if you can fill us in on him. Horrible news. Wow. Praying he's okay. Pulls through. Cannon 0311 USMC era. What? Semper Fi Devil Ra. McJunkin, the cadet is in critical care unit at the local trauma center. Man. Prayers, him, his family. Prayer works. Everyone, prayer works. Prayer changes things. So don't just say it. If you want to pray for him, pray. Please. Prayers up. Man, that's terrible. And you never know. So tomorrow's never promised. That's why I wake up now. Thank God. Thank God. You talk to older guys, I used to hear it all the time. Hey, how you doing, sir? I'm above ground. Amen. I mean, that's huge. Man, hope he's okay. It's horrible. Prayers. We understand, McJunkin, if your crew's not in it tonight. We're thinking about you and the entire crew. Thanks for sharing. Doc says, can you answer M. Lance's question? Yes. Put up.
What's your favorite plane from the Marines?
What's my favorite plane from the Marines? I'm a helicopter guy. Can do helicopters count? And I don't know the aircraft that well. I love a C-130. It's kind of what I grew up with, and that's what always took us to the fight, and more importantly, took us out of the fight. All C-130s for all branches of service. Love the C-130 Hercules, right? They call it. Love that aircraft. I absolutely love the Osprey when that came out, because again, I'd rather have a 3-hour CH-46 or even a 53 ride. I'm a big helicopter fan. I would have one of those rides before I would want to get in an airplane. However, when the Ospreys came out, I liked those too. In the very beginning, it felt like the pilots were still kind of learning the aircraft, showboating a little bit. Had a couple close calls. We even had one where our snipers' rifles slid out the back because I'm telling you, they just went up a few feet, turned the rotors, and took off. And if you ain't buckled in, you're going to be flying out the back too. So great piece of gear. Of course, when we're in trouble, yes, we like the bombers to come by and help us out, which a good bomber in the helicopter world, Cobra. Seen some Cobras in action. And I've been in the H-1, the Huey. That was cool. That's the command helicopter, right? We were just, and this was in training. This one was in training, 29 Palms. The pilot said, you want to check out how your boys are doing on all the ranges? Get in. Colonel Holt and I got to shoot the gun off the side at some targets, 122 or something.
Who's that?
All right, McJunkin.
No, Jeffrey Holt.
Oh, Jeff Holt is here. I was just talking about him. Remember when we were in the Huey firing the...
He said, talk about the MV-22 final ride out of Afghanistan roller coaster.
Oh, I'm telling you that those, and that when they pop the flares off and they see something that you can't see because you're strapped in, looking straight ahead, praying to God that you make it back safe. I want to see what McJunkin said about the kid. It just disappeared. Colonel Holt, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I was just talking about you. How weird is that? USMC vet says, I really hope the USMC allows the Flying Warrant Officer program. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you. I think it's one of those things is I don't think our system is broke. Why fix it? I don't think they should deny a great pilot, potential great pilot, because he's a warrant officer. I totally agree with you on that. But I like our system. Big fan of the Marines. I don't know if you can tell. But back to the helicopters. I did one. I don't remember. This was another training operation. I don't remember where we were, what we were doing, but we had been on a 53, I'm telling you, for hours. Wherever it was to get back on the ship was hours. Must have been the MEU or the helicopter company. And Marines can fall asleep anywhere. Of course, I fell right to sleep. You're sitting down, you're comfortable. The hum of the helicopter, the hydraulic fluid dripping on you, everything was perfect. And then I woke up to a huge crash. I know we're looking for the ship, and it was bad weather. Huge crash. And obviously what happened was the ship was moving. The helicopter's got to take the best opportunity to put it down, and boom. It was such a hard landing. Of course, everyone woke up and freaked out and stuff was shifting around. And I was sitting right across from a window, a little portal. The first thing I saw, and the only thing I saw, was water. I was positive for that split second that we landed in the ocean. And I was already from the helo tanker. I did everything I was supposed to grab my weapon. I was ready to swim my way to the top. But we weren't. We were on the deck. It just was a very hard landing.
You said you get a Ralph Perry. He just did a super sticker.
Ralph Perry, thank you very much for the super sticker. Awesome. Appreciate you. And if I miss it, that's what the producers are. Oh, it doesn't. Super stickers don't show up. Our Rangers here. Rangers lead the way. Hua. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. It's true. Marines can sleep anywhere. I fell asleep on I-40 today driving to Memphis. You better be careful, old Gyrene. And yes, we can sleep anywhere. Okay, here's McJunkins. The cadet disobeyed a direct safety rule if always wearing a helmet with protective equipment and gear and never ride off alone. Amen. That's facts, right? Sometimes we don't like those rules, the PPE, seatbelts. For the longest time, I had an issue with the seatbelt, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but I don't anymore. Again, older and wiser, and you're not indestructible, you're not invincible. You think you are as a young man, a young woman, but you're not. So please obey. Those rules are set for a reason. Where do you think they get those ideas from to make those rules? So don't do it. I don't know if any. It was a Humvee crash. Humvee had an IED, and the Marines inside all perished because they couldn't get out of their seatbelt. They burned. So for the longest time, I banned. I was like, nope, I'm not getting caught like this. I'm not getting caught. There ain't no way. So I didn't, but I realized that's one in a million chance that happens. Wear your safety gear, PPE. DC Long says, a Marine is the most valuable tool in a Ranger tactical toolbox. I love flowing with MARSOC, second to none. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. I'm telling you, one team. It always love working with the Ranger. We had a lieutenant, was a Ranger when I was with 2-5, a Marine lieutenant, had his Ranger tab. Obviously, he couldn't wear it with his Marine uniform, but he wore it everywhere else. Doc Holliday, amen, brother. Never served, but raised a Marine. That takes a bad motor scooter to raise a Marine. All right. Ask my mom, ask my wife. I didn't see the rest of it. Can you read the rest of Doc's?
Pride never leaves. Love this community, the bond and the respect we carry every day. Big shout out to the SFMF crew and Sergeant for keeping it real, fun, and full of Marine pride.
Appreciate you, Doc. Always.
Yes.
McJunkin said, took law enforcement officers, fellow cadet, young Marines, fire and rescue to locate him through his cell phone using a tower identifier. Above all else, and it happens in Hawaii often, people hike on trails, not just Marines, but people hike and explore and they find and no cell service. So luckily his cell service still worked. But can you imagine being stuck and you hear about people getting lost for days and weeks or don't come back at all? Adam E says his commo was a Ranger. Doc, yes. Wow. Thank you, brother. What war did you fight? M. Lance. What war did you fight in? That's a good question. I'm guessing you're. Oh yeah, we know who M. Lance is. Desert Storm, Somalia, Iraq, Afghanistan. Iraq. Appreciate you, Doc. Doc keeps a producer's salary paid because I ain't gonna pay her. Jeremy, Lance, good to see you, Lance. Again, Jason, what are you talking about? A full head of hair. Ancient Aliens Space Marines Edition. Right. Cool. All right. We're at the top of the hour yet. Welcome, everybody. We are live SFMF. Those of you who don't know what it stands for, every now and then you get someone that comes in. What does it stand for? Simplify, my friends, of course. If you're a Marine, you've heard it different ways, but it's good. Simplify, my friends. Glad you're here.
What did old Jyrene see?
Old Jyrene, wow, one hell of a resume, Sergeant Major. Where did you see my resume? You saw it somewhere?
I'm trying to keep it hidden.
When Lance asked what war I was in. DC Long, 75th STBRR. Ray, information, Semper 6. Good to see you, Ray, always. 1775 is coming up. Our birthday's coming up. Helmet fit. Strap tight.
What is it?
John McJunkin. Topic number 1 on poor or bad leaders or leadership. First, let's take a break. Breather. Intermission. What's everybody drinking? And remind us all where you are tuning in from. I haven't asked that in a while. I'm back to coffee. I don't know if you can see it. Where's Lay Cookie? I'm drinking some black coffee. I'm trying that transition again. Black coffee. And again, I talked about it, I think, on Sunday. Now I know the differences of you have to have good coffee, like good grounds. And this is some Texas, what is it?
Pecan something.
Texas pecan.
From HEB.
From HEB. It's great. I love it. Excuse me, I almost broke down the other day and bought some creamer because it's you have to. I love coffee, but I love coffee with creamer. I'm trying to do the less dairy, no sugar, just straight black coffee. I'm sticking strong this time. I got it. Gatorade from Nebraska, Carl Green. HEB peach tea, says Jeffrey Holt. Cayman Jack in Boise, Idaho, Randall Knapp. Good deal, not girly coffee. I'm on it, Mike. I'm on it. I got you. Wooly from, I can't see the flags. David Bryan says, you know you're old when you wore the John Wayne helmet. Oh, that's old. Old school. Same helmet you took a bath in, you washed your dishes, you shaved out of. That's old school right there. Thanks, DC. Salute. Wooly from Scotland. Awesome. Glad you're here. This is awesome. Junkin. We have sodas, juice, milk, coffee, hot cocoa, tea, water here at the OFK. You guys are killing it, always. And Lance, hydrate. Water, water, water. It's good for you. I've been drinking a lot more water recently, too. Pumpkin spice latte. Come on, Doc. There's some things you don't say out loud, and especially on social media. It's for your wife. I know it is. You're not drinking that. But how is it? Is it good?
You know you want some caramel.
I'm a big fan of caramel macchiatos. I was. That was before I turned hard. Troy Gardner, San Diego Coffee Black. That's what I'm talking about, Troy. Good to see you, brother. Zach, hi. Cranberry juice. I love a good cranberry juice. Is it straight cranberry juice, or do you have a mixer with it? Turtle Swag. Graduated MCRD San Diego in July. Era, congratulations. Welcome to the club. Went to SOI for 03, but I'm not sure if this is for me. Any advice? Yes. Hang in there. Hang tough. Complete your 4 years. Decide then. And in the next 3 years, stay on this channel. Ask those questions. Let us know what you're doing. The 03 life is rough. There's no sugarcoating that whatsoever. The life of an infantryman is different than every other MOS. Most of them. There's some that are close that deal directly with infantry, but it's rewarding. I recommend anyone ask me what MOS should I do? 03 infantry. And it's peacetime right now, of course, so you're going to do more training than you care to do, right? That's how my first 5 years in the Marine Corps was. I trained every single day. I wasn't going anywhere to fight to defend my nation. So it was tough. And so you're going to play a lot of games, right? It's going to be a lot of redundant training, but the only way to get better is 10,000 hours, right? I just read that article again, 10,000 hours, what they say to become an expert at something. So until you have that, and you're going to do some cool stuff as an 03. If you have a good chain of command, which we're going to talk about leadership here in a minute, embrace it. Go to school, work on your PFT, work on stuff that you normally wouldn't, but in that dead time, which infantry doesn't have a lot of downtime, but those times at the armory that you're there at zero dark and use that time wisely, educate yourself and make the best of it. Embrace it, right? That term, embrace the suck, is real. You got to embrace whatever situation you're in, but stick with it. Quitting is not an option. It never has been, but it seems like today's society, I don't want to talk about what are we in, Gen X? Quitting seems to be okay. Right? I've talked to many kids. Oh, football practice is hard. The coach is a jerk. I'm quitting. You're what? It doesn't even cross my mind. And I can't think of my first 3 years of football, Pop Warner football, hated it. I didn't even play the first year. I didn't play a single play the first year. I was the smallest one on the team. Didn't play at all. My dad wasn't too happy, and he saw how broke up I was about it. My dad had a talk with the coaches, and all of a sudden I played. But I sucked at it. I wasn't ready to get on the field. But and a couple of months into it, he'd tell me every time, I don't care what you do, but you are not quitting this team. Turns out I grew, and I did okay. Right, I enjoyed football, played it all through high school and all through the Marine Corps. Even as a sergeant major, I played on my unit's tackle football team. Huge mistake, way too old, but I loved it. All right. USMC Vet says, Sergeant Major, last time I was here, you promised to sing Tiny Bubbles. Did I promise? I'm going to have to look back. Can you pull that up? That's a great running cadence. Great guidance from your dad. Thank you, Matthew Ashker. I'm telling you, and after that conversation, because it wasn't as polite as I'm telling the story, but I knew by the look in his eye, and he was a man of few words, he would not allow that. And I thank him and thank God every day that I never quit. Once you quit once, one thing, you become a quitter. So I try to tell kids nowadays, it's hard. I don't like it. The coach is mean. The teacher's mean. I'm going to quit this math class. You don't quit. You finish it, finish what you started, and then make a better educated decision next time. But you don't quit. You quit nothing. All right, old Jaireen, whenever you're in Cali, let me know. I have an 8-year-old whiskey bottle with your name on it. I love a good whiskey, but at the same time, I have like great taste buds. I think they all taste the same to me. Don't get mad, those you whiskey drinkers.
You might not be talking to you.
I know what he's telling Randall. I missed what Randy just said. Can you repeat Randy's?
The toughest time one could have in Corps would be to give up. Life would become incredibly miserable. Work hard. The more you try, the easier, in a sense, it becomes.
And it does. And I want to tell, recruits at the JROTC programs, in the beginning, they hate it. It's tough. I'm yelling at them. They want to quit bad. Even a boot camp, I'll back up to boot camp. The first week in boot camp is hell. And that's what most of the kids, I saw it more as a green belt. That was my desire. I wanted to make them quit, right? That's what the green belt's job is to do. And really just testing their mettle. So if I didn't send enough recruits to the senior drill instructor, I wasn't doing my job, right? You want to push them to the limit, but then talk them off the ledge. As a senior, I'm telling you, I had the same conversation so many times. Look, you're going to thank me later. And tell them it's easy for me to sit on this side of the desk and tell you that. You sitting on that side is horrible, but you're not the only one that's miserable. You're not the only one that's homesick, tired of this, not used to being, you and 89 other recruits feel the exact same. They're just dealing with it different. So that's when that phrase, suck it up. Anybody watch that short? That's where that phrase comes from. Suck it up. Because it's only going to get better. Right? The beginning of everything, I was telling the whole production team, every deployment I went on, the first week, maybe 2 weeks, is the hardest. Because you're homesick. You miss your family. If you're single, you miss your room. You miss your stuff. You miss your car. You have a dog, you miss your dog. You miss all that stuff. So the first week sucks. 2 weeks, it could bleed over into 2 weeks, but then it gets better. You see the light at the end of the tunnel, and 100% of the time, it gets better. And you know when you're going home. Push it to the limit, Rocky 2. Rocky 3 is my favorite when he has that talk with Mick, or he has that premonition when he's in the ring and Mick is talking to his ear. Love Rocky 3. Love them all. Remember General Schwarzkopf's quote when you butchered the spelling of his name. I don't remember the quote. Put it up there if you don't mind, USMC vet. Don't write his name again, though. We know who you're talking about.
So this way, can NGPs be expunged?
Can NJPs be expunged? Look who's here. Kimi Coco Puffs. What's happening, Kimi? Turtle Swag. Can NJPs be expunged? Yes, they can. And if you were falsely NJP'd, fight. Don't stop. Get that pulled off your record, because it could come back to haunt you later. It probably has been haunting you this whole time. It's going to drop you down. You're going to get promoted behind your peers. It's unfair. And if your injustice was done, fight. Do everything meticulously. Record conversations. Take notes. And fight until it gets expunged. And yes, they can. So get after it. Randall Knapp says, my most junior DI told me once, dang it. Slow reading today. Can you read Randy's, please?
My most junior DI told me at graduation he specifically tried to get me to quit because of my MOS. He shook my hand and said I earned his respect because he could never break me. True for anyone. That's awesome.
That's true. And again, our goal is, I thought every one of my DIs, my green belts, hated me, mainly because one of them would tell me every day, I hate your SFMF guts. He would tell me that every day. And it was getting to me. I was like, and then I got to that point, Randy, where you were at. This dude ain't breaking me. He's making me. Right? Once I figured that out, unstoppable. He wasn't breaking me. All right, General S's quote. That's Schwarzkopf. I'm going to be the greatest a-hole you'll ever meet, but you'll thank me when you're flying home. Amen. How about that? Right? That's that tough love, that hard training. Gunny Highway, or Gunner Sergeant Hartman says it in Full Metal Jacket. Right? You may not like me, but I'm hard, I'm fair, and whatever he said, it was great. Awesome. I was going to share a never quit or give up story. When it's in the senior drill instructor's speech in the beginning, we talked about that, but that's just it. We don't care if you can't run a first class PFT. We don't care if you're not the best swimmer, the best shooter, the best at any of it. That's not important. What's important is that you never, ever quit. The worst thing you can possibly say, and this is one of my pet peeves in boot camp, when they would say, I can't let go of the railing on top of the rappel tower. I can't. Oh, yes, you can, and you will. So you might as well do it, right? I can't jump off the 10-foot tower in the pool. I can't. First of all, stop saying that, right? You're getting under my skin. Stop saying it, because you can. So don't say that. All right. From the producer, David, do you watch on phone or TV? Try the gear icon. Sometimes comments are filtered. Is he not seeing the comments? USMC vet. It was autocorrect. Unlikely. Cool story, bro.
He says he can't see Doc's comments.
Who cannot?
David Bryant says he can't see Doc's comments. I don't know if it's a little gear icon. Because sometimes ours are filtered too, and I don't see the bad one.
He said, look, he uses all three, but can't figure out why. Any techies on here? David Bryant can't see only Docs or any comments at all. Melissa, all good. Good evening. Good evening to you. Hang out if you're new. This is SFMF Live Wednesday night. We talk about today. We have 3 topics a day. We talk with the crowd a little bit, see where we read the room and see where we're going, and already just full of motivation. This is good. Seth, you think we're going to a draft situation? Nope. I don't think we'll ever go back to the draft. My personal opinion. I think there's enough Patriots, which is our second topic tonight, patriotism. I think there's enough motivation in the United States that we'll never have to go to a draft. Recruiting goals, everyone now. The Marines have never not reached the recruiting goal. The other services were having a hard time for a while, but everyone right now is reaching their recruiting goals, and that's for patriotism. Hurrah. Amen. And Lance, right there, the few, the proud, the Marines. Hurrah. Rabbit Wrangler, what's the hardest thing about being in the USMC? Nothing. Which one? Oh, only Doc. David Bryant says only Doc.
See, it's not showing on the comments. John McJunkin just updated.
Oh, yeah. So ours are being. Randall's up. Nixon ended draft. Thank you.
Yeah, tell David Bryant that ours does that too.
Yeah, every now and then, David Bryant. That's what the producer's saying, is every now and then, because she's looking at comments through on an iPad. I'm looking at the comments on a TV, and we're recording through a phone.
So John McJunkin just left the update saying Cadet Crenshaw's family has informed us he has brain activity, full range of motion of limbs, but has multiple skull and facial fractures. He's in a medically induced coma to reduce brain swelling.
He's in a medically induced coma. He has brain activity, no use of limbs. So that's good news, right? Am I hearing that right? We're talking about John McJunkin's Poolee. Got an ATV accident, no helmet, flipped, and the ATV landed on his head. He's in the ICU, but he has brain activity. Oh, man, deep breath, and we're praying. He's in a medically induced coma. John, I know you already let everyone know, but please, everyone here, again, prayers up tonight when you say your prayers before you eat or before you go to bed. Whenever you pray, please throw it out there for John McJunkin's crew and the young man and his family, please. Seth, appreciate you, MFs. Huh?
Go ahead.
Real love and respect for your service. So thank you, Seth. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for your support. Okay, we got a timeout.
All right. So Turtle Swag.
Turtle
I
swag.
remember, right? He's been commenting
Yeah.
the past year. He said, not sure what happened to me. Graduated as a guide for Echo Company. Hit SOI really moto, but then lost it all and became a full D-bag. I'm not sure if it gets better, but I won't quit, but it sure does suck. And that's the thing is everyone
Yeah.
wants to be so full moto in boot camp, but that's not the Marine Corps.
Is USMCC here? Is she still here? USMCC, I want you to address that one too. So, Turtle Swag, guide, honor graduate, and boot camp. Get after it. There's one honor grad for about 600 Marines. One per series. Those two battle out for one for the company. So he nailed it. Straight motivation, not easy. Then he went to SOI. Still moto, still high off boot camp. Awesome United States Marine, getting after it. Guy probably did well in SOI, saying maybe top 5%, whatever. Then he gets to the fleet. That's the dangerous part. Right back to our first topic of poor leadership. How dangerous is poor leadership? So, one, on high motivation, right? Boot camp, SOI, moto, gets to the fleet where he may have had some bad leadership, bad fire team leader, bad instructors, maybe at SOI, maybe started to die then. You get into the fleet and it's not what you expected. One, nobody wants the fleet to be like boot camp, but we still love that camaraderie and the intensity and the passion and the era of everything you did in boot camp. But you also want some freedom as a Marine and as a human being. But that unit you go to is such a beginning of your life and your Marine Corps career. So if it's a bad one, oh God, that's could be dangerous for leaders. So clearly there was no leaders that identified this motivated Marine is all of a sudden going downhill. You can't use the all excuse of, wow, man, you changed, right? Had that said to me, you've changed. Why did I change? It's not me, it's the organization. So somebody in his chain of command directly let him down. But here's what we tell everybody. Don't judge the Marine Corps off your first duty station. Don't judge the Marine Corps off your first duty station. Please don't. That's not the entire Marine Corps. You got into a bad unit, a bad organization, bad leadership, bad something. It's going to get better. Even just as hard, you go get into the best organization and you still love it, you're still moto, and then you go to a bad one. There are bad leaders in the Marine Corps. It's hard to believe, but there are. And then they continue on their life and they become in charge of people's lives. Excuse me. Let me read John McJunkins. Says, I cannot express enough to all of your young subscribers, but really to all, to wear your, it disappeared, but wear your PPE, your personal protective equipment. Even in combat, I had to remind Marines daily. Yes, I was that a-hole sergeant major. Put your gloves on, put your eye pro down, put your earplugs in, roll your sleeves all the way down. It's just for your protection. Nothing cool about all the fingers on your gloves being cut off, your sleeves rolled up one or two because you're hot. Yeah, when that fireball goes off and gives you third-degree burns on just your wrist, you're going to wish you had that fire retardant camouflage utility uniform covering it. When a piece of shrapnel goes into your eyeball, you're going to wish you had your eye pro down. So, yes, it's a pain in the butt, but if you do it constantly and consistently, it's second nature. You don't leave the wire. You don't leave your bunker. You don't without all your PPE on. It's just like now getting in the car with seatbelt. It's automatic. You have to, please. Man, eye pro, ear pro on at all times. Turtle Swag's got it. I'm telling you, PPE. That's why you do PCCs and PCIs. PCCs, pre-combat checks. PCIs, pre-combat inspections, right? Good leaders are going to check you, and it's going to be annoying. I would line them up. Line up. You go Marine by Marine. You check head to toe, helmet, chin strap on it, buckle. Ain't no John Wayne out here. Eye pro, ear pro, gloves, sleeves roll down, all the way down. You sappies in. Do it, please. We beg you. Ray's out. Going on train now. Ray, thanks for hanging out, brother. Safe trip. We'll see you again soon. That's why I love ripstop camis. I'm telling you, we the Marine Corps provides you, the military provides you with all this safety equipment. Please use it. Helmets, McJunkin, everything. USMC vet, Master Sergeant run, Master Sergeant's run on beer, dip, and burgers. That's a good Master Sergeant right there. Dirty, hasn't showered in a while. Probably needs a haircut.
Did you read what Adams wrote?
No.
I don't know if you missed it or I wasn't listening, but he said he thought he was going to do 4 years and get out. He did 2-1 due to leadership. Now 13 years later, loving it, looking back to do what 2-1 or what made it great.
Prime story right there. Proof in the pudding right there. Adam East was going to get out after 4 years. Didn't like it. Wasn't for him. Re-enlisted. Went to 2-1. Loved it. 13 years later. Motivation. Going to be in zone next year. Getting promoted to first sergeant. We'll see.
Franklin and Ruff are here.
Franklin and Rufford?
Ruff.
Oh, Franklin and Ruff. What's up, fellas? Good to see you. Let's hear some motivation. You know, I give you an Ruff. You can hear it, right? You can hear it. Like on stage when you graduated.
Randy just gave 5 gift memberships.
Randall is the GOAT.
Carl got one. Kimi got one.
Carl got one. Kimi got one. Randall, thanks again, brother. You're keeping our membership alive. Appreciate you. Much respect, Randall. CC Fishing. I'm 15 now, a freshman in high school. When I get out of high school, I want to join the Marine Corps. Any advice for getting ready for what to do in the Marine Corps? Yes. First of all, start capitalizing Marine Corps. That's a lesson, history lesson for you, and a Marine lesson. Yes. Stay on this channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Hang out. Ask every single question that comes to your mind. Write them down when you're in school and you're thinking of something. This is the place. This community is by far the best for anything and everything military and Marine Corps. Obviously, a little biased towards the Marine Corps here, but every single question you have will be answered on here because our last point is AMA. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. But good on you. And I'm so glad you recognize it at 15 years old and a freshman. I didn't know till I was a senior in high school and the recruiter sought me out. So good on you. Physical fitness, get up to, you're still growing. So you're not going to be a first-class PFT right now, but definitely by the time you're a junior in high school, first-class Marine Corps PFT, senior, you should go to boot camp, first-class PFT. What'd Kimi do? Congratulations, Kimi. Oh, she got a membership. Big John. Hello, guys. What's up, Big John? How big are you?
Michael's Drones is here.
Michael's Drones is here. What's up, Michael? Good to see you, brother. Michael's Drones, RCs and Knives. Check out his YouTube channel if you haven't already.
You see what old Jyrene wrote?
Old Jyrene. Thanks, Sergeant Major. Drives me nuts when people don't capitalize Marine. It was hard for me to read it. I thought he meant marine life, like marine mammals and stuff. Anywhere, everywhere, all the time. Get after it. Michael's Drones in the house, says Doc. Good to see y'all. David Bryant, less than 2 months until the Marine Corps birthday ball. Where is everyone going? Great question. I think we all lost hope in Ton Tavern in Philadelphia. It's not going to happen. We haven't even checked in a while. Big John's from Africa, Burundi. Good to see you, Big John. So glad you're here.
Andy Bernani has a question.
Love when people come from all over. Andy Bernani has a question. Where is it?
Let's hear it, boo.
Let's hear it. I think everyone heard that one on stage. That's how they know I'm the best. Michael Ruff. You may be right. That's a new answer I have for people when they're completely wrong. You may be right. Annie Benani. Why do height and weight standards matter if you're physically fit and can pass the PFT? Great question. Height and weight standards for Marine Corps, because it's not only about your figure and can pass the PFT. I know some overweight looking Marines that not only can pass a PFT, but have a first class PFT and can outrun half the freaking battalion. But their appearance, their military appearance, Marines are fanatical. About what? About being Marines. So it is our image. Are there overweight Marines? Yes. A few, very far and few. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen an overweight airman or a sailor or a soldier? We haven't seen any Space Force and even Coast Guard. I can't picture any fat Coast Guardsmen. The Marine Corps won't allow it because of our image. And we do research and they study and they got scientists and doctors and they do all this height and weight. I fought my height and weight. I didn't fight my height. You can't do nothing about that. But my weight, the entire time I was a Marine, I had to prepare for weigh-ins. First class PFT or high first class PFT every single time. There's not one PFT I didn't do max on pull-ups. Never. But I always had to watch I'm a bigger guy and a low body fat in my prime. I don't know about now, but I always had to fight it. And it was a pain in the butt. Like times I could be, God damn, I'm tired of worrying about it. Then they came out with the body fat. That helped. Then they came out with the caliper system. And then the water dunk thing and any active duty gunnies. What's the thing called now for your height and weight standard? It's a different measuring method and it's more accurate. Because there was this one time I was trying to gain weight, trying to get bigger, and I was way over my max. And they taped me and I was over body fat until I went to that, like a hyperbaric chamber. That's not what it's called, but they put me in that thing and it was 6% different. I was 6% lower. 6% more accurate. So it definitely is an image thing, to answer Annie Benani's question. Image and then our mission. If because not only do you're going into combat, and yes, you say you can run, you can keep up with any kind of patrol. Say you're extremely overweight, can PT, extremely overweight, and you get shot, right? Something happens where you can't walk anymore. Now you're going to put that on Marines to have to carry your big butt, right? I'm telling you, Marines are physically fit for image, mission, and motivation. Annie Benani said, follow up, asking because there are a lot of men who have to get taped and worried about getting weighed, but are very physically fit in the Marine Corps too. I'm telling you, I was one of them. I got taped probably, without a doubt, every single PFT and CFT I got taped until they start changing the methods. So one, if they're still getting taped, they're in an old system. They need to get one of the new systems to help them. And also, really, right there, David Bryant. And now you're a bigger target, right? How can you silhouette yourself? Everyone's going to be hiding behind you. So you're definitely going to take that shot. They only have one. Damn, what did Adam he say? I just missed it.
They only have one of those per major commands right now. Hopefully more are coming.
And where's USMC Cece? Even the reserves, like one per reserve station right now. It's a better measurement of your body fat. John McJunkie says the height and weight standards are not only used for fitness, but for uniformity within the ranks, marching, drill, or assembly. Amen. Right back to our image. Can you imagine 8th and I, right? Looking at all those 6 foot, lean, mean fight machines, twirling rifles. Then you have a 6 foot, 280 pound Marine. He can probably spin, he can PFT, he can do everything he needs to do. He doesn't fit in with a color guardsman. Right, someone in the color guard can PT his butt off, first class PFT, but he's gigantic. It doesn't work. All right, USMC vets. Sorry, he's excused. He's Italian. Italian food gives you mucho weight. and my parents were cooks and bakers. Come on, carbs, nothing but carbs. Whole life. Eric S is here. What's up, Eric? The service in the Marine Corps prepare you to become a marine biologist. Only if you don't capitalize the word marine. So no. Eric says Donald Trump is my commander in chief. Era. Austrian painter is my chef. Randall says, I remember running circles around the platoon. A Marine who stopped running carried I missed the rest of it. Was he big? Height and weight standards, Eric S. Height and weight standards are important so they don't tip over, over the ships, right? You have to balance out the ships and the helicopters. There's a loadmaster on that aircraft. If he tells you, hey, buddy, can you get up and move to the back of the airplane? You're throwing off we can't afford it. Doc says, fat Marine? Nah, that's just a Marine who's been carb loading for the next battle. More fuel, more fight. Carb up. Love me some carbs. But yeah, you have to maintain. You seriously have to maintain. You're not as agile. You're jumping over walls, jumping through windows. You're carrying people. What is it?
1 hour down.
Oh, okay. Here's a good question, USMC vet. Why do they call the merchant Marines merchant Marines? Good question. That's the Marine, the water Marine for merchant Marines. They're not Marines, but it confused me for a long time as well. Look who's here. JTB, push, 1046 Bravo Company, 1371 backbone of the Corps. Don't you still owe me some burpees? One of my recruits, look at him now. Good, because we're getting ready to talk about the dangers of poor leadership. Did I stray you in the wrong direction? Ran on that Boots and Utes tank trails in the heat at Gitmo. He was alcohol dehydrated. Mahi Max, Sergeant Major, what's your favorite story from your time as a United States Marine? Every single day is my favorite about being a Marine. Hang out for a while, Max. I share some stories along the way, depending on the topic that we're talking about. Serving, deployments, combat, all of it. I'm telling you, schools, right? Ceremonies, marching, drilling. There's not a whole lot I didn't like. It'd be easier to tell you what I didn't like. Police calls, picking up cigarette butts, hurry up and wait. But every day is awesome. Can we remove AI? Oh, you got it. She's on it. Producer's on it. Here's a good one. And then we're going to move to the topics. Can you tell me how Marines desensitize themselves? I cannot, only because every person is different. You do become desensitized to a lot of things, and you go through stages, I do believe. When I first got out or in combat, you hear a boom, and your first reaction, hit the deck, gather your people, make sure you get a head count. Those things happen. And then you get to that, let me see what I was watching. I think the Ukrainian soldiers were carrying a buddy who was injured. And as they were carrying this guy, a mortar came in like 20 feet from them. Boom. Huge. They didn't blink. They probably blinked, but you couldn't see because you were watching from behind. They just continued to walk. A mortar went off about 20 feet from them. They probably felt the heat, maybe some dirt or something. They kept moving. That's desensitized. And it happens. It happens to Marines at different stages of your combat experience. So no one answer. Lay Cookie. Who is?
JTB, did you say hi?
Oh, yeah, JTB. Lay Cookie says, I'm sure you didn't like dealing with my shenanigans. Where do I begin? With Lay Cook, taking care of Lay Cook. Again, back to the dangers of poor leadership. Did I lead you astray somewhere along the way? Yes, Lay Cook, you were a handful.
Senior to who, though?
I was senior to him because he was a private.
What time and grade, though?
Time of grade, time of service. Lay Cookie. Who? I don't know which one of us came in first.
He was a PFC longer than
I think I came in first only because after boot camp I went on recruiter assistance for like 40 days. I was on recruiter assistance forever. So I entered the fleet later. But Lay Cookie kept it real. And there are very few Marines that do that anymore. And everyone's bend the knee. Yes, man, we need more Lay Cookies in the Marine Corps, without a doubt. USMC Vet says Ukraine has Marines, Naval Infantry, ERA. Christopher Naylor, Squid here. What's up, shipmate? So glad you're here. Isn't it the Corps regs? One day a year, all Marines must cheer. Go Navy. The facts right there. A day we cheer for the Navy is the Army-Navy game. Go Navy, beat Army. And we love our sailor brothers and sisters, no doubt about it. Obviously, we know more about corpsmen than any other, corpsmen and chaplains and the RPs, but love you, brother. One team, love our Navy. Go Navy, beat Army. Hurrah. All right, Amia, British. I see a lot of vids of Charlie and other conservatives saying they're proud of their country, being American, but no disrespect. Just a question, 100%. This is where you'll see some patriotism for America is what our second topic is now. Hurrah. All right. Last one. I want to hit that. Your take on drones over the battlefield. I think that's brilliant. I think if it saves lives, saves injuries, and saves Marines, 100% all about the drones. I think they're fantastic. I didn't get to experience them when I was still active duty, but I wish I would have because it's going to save lives. There will always be, mark my words, fully believe this, there is still always going to have to be boots on the ground. And it might just be the Marines the only ones that still have to do that. But we're going to always have to have boots on the ground. All right. In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas. In the Navy, you can put your mind at ease. Hurrah. Sailors, love them. All right. Dangers of poor leadership is our first topic. First, where is Menachem? We haven't seen Menachem yet. Prayers up to Menachem's grandfather. Again, he's still in the hospital. So maybe Menachem is with him now. Brother, if you watch this later, our prayers are still up for your grandfather, hoping he's doing well. Prayer works, everyone. All right, here we go. David Bryant. Poor leadership is do as I say, not as I do. And I'm sure you've all seen that. Do as I say, not as I do. Get your hands out of your pockets while your leader is standing there with his or her hands in her pockets. Get a haircut when they need a haircut. Back when we used to shine boots, your boots look like crap. And then you look at the person who's yelling at you and their boots look like crap. Poor leadership, without a doubt. The topic is, what are the dangers of that? Is that really a big deal? If you have a leader and he sucks, is it going to affect you? It does. I believe it does, 100%. We're starting at boot camp. Your parents and your teachers all through grade school, junior high and high school, of course, they set the tone. But in the Marine Corps, enlisted, as you know, they strip you down of all that and transform you into a lean, mean fight machine, basically trained Marine. So it's up to the leadership while you're on active duty. But it starts with your drill instructors. Are there bad drill instructors? Yes, unfortunately, there is. In my time as a DI, I saw numerous DIs get relieved for poor leadership. It happens. I had a couple close calls myself because the leaders who trained me didn't really train me, didn't tell me everything. So it happens. Could a drill instructor affect a recruit's Marine Corps career? 100%. Right? That's where it starts. Those drill instructors, those recruits are entrusted to that drill instructor's care. So DI duty, DI school is tough. DI duty is tough. A lot of pressure on you, a lot of supervision from the series guns who's done a couple cycles, your senior drill instructor who's done a couple cycles, the first sergeant. There's officers on the drill field, but the enlisted are the ones that train the Marines. So the danger of poor leadership in boot camp, a kid could quit, get injured, get hurt. There are even recruits that have been unalived or unalived themselves because of poor leadership. So it's very dangerous. And then you move on to active duty, just like the Marine was up here. Honor grad in boot camp, did well in SOI. He's in '03, went to his first, what's that name? First duty station, hates the Marine Corps. Is it the Marine Corps? Does the Marine Corps suck? Nope. His immediate supervisor does. His leadership does. His squad leader, platoon sergeant, platoon commander, someone in his chain of command has destroyed his motivation and his drive to be the best Marine he could possibly be. And it happens, unfortunately, it happens. In that particular case, thankfully, that leader's going to go, right? PCS, 3 years at a duty station, 18 months to 36 months. Someone's going to leave, either you or that leader. Someone else is coming, could be better, could be worse. So there's multiple opportunities throughout your Marine Corps career that you are going to come across good leaders. 10% is bad. And that's my number just off the top of my head, thinking there's the 10 percenters, 10% of Marines that are the birds, right? Just don't do well. And there's 10% bad leadership. The danger of it is, again, if you experience poor leadership, your first 4 years causes you to get out, where could you have gone in the Marine Corps? How high could you have gone if you stayed in? Right? Could you be the commandant, sergeant major of the Marine Corps? Could you positively affect hundreds of thousands of Marines had you stayed in and weeded out those poor leaders? That's where it becomes dangerous. Poor leaders destroy the institution. I'm going to get back to that again in a minute. Poor leadership in the Marine Corps destroy the institution. The funny side of it is I don't miss the circus, I miss the clowns. And those are the leaders. Those are friends. That's the camaraderie. That's the friendships you develop in the Marine Corps still from boot camp, right? From Okinawa, way back. Friends on here. That's examples of good leadership along the way who built that camaraderie, built that trust, built the love amongst each other. Marines love each other. We don't get all sappy and hug and cry. I take it back. We do all that too, because that's what Marines do. Ain't no shame in two Marines crying to each other, for each other. And it takes a man to show emotion like that. So don't get it twisted whatsoever. That's what good leadership does to you. I remember platoon sergeant, my first combat deployment, platoon sergeant, staff sergeant. I'll never forget him because of the leadership he provided in such a chaotic time and unknowing time. What 9 months of Desert Storm was. It was new to all of us. Combat operations was new to all of us, but he led us through that. And it was just amazing. Again, never forget him. And our assistant platoon sergeant was just as good. Weird that we had two staff sergeants, but they were both solid. But back to the dangers and what you can do about it. Do you just overlook it? I just dealt with poor leadership as a retiree, working at a job around other retirees, high-ranking retirees, with just completely lost everything that got them to where they were in the Marine Corps. So reaching the rank of E9, Sergeant Major or Master Guns, 06 is huge. That's, of course, you want to be a general. In general, it's even harder to get promoted to general. Yes, some politics here and there. 05 is good. That's a lieutenant colonel. That's great. Great Marines. The ones who make it to 06, amazing. We had Jeff Holt on here earlier. Amazing to make it to that rank. So obviously, those individuals, those men and women that make E9 and 06 have had some great leadership along their career, right? You do some yourself, got it. But you can't do it alone. You can't do it by yourself. It's impossible. You've had some mentors. You've had some leadership. You've seen great leadership. That's active duty. And then here we are after service. Tell I would work for any company just off what I know of Marines. I would work for any company that was led by a prior service Marine, a retiree, especially a high-ranking retiree, with the premise of, because I'm very optimistic, he's a Marine, got to be good to go. Bias. He's a Marine Sergeant Major, even better. He's a Marine Master Guns, I'm all over it. I know he's going to be a leader. He made it to that rank of positive, solid leadership. He's an 06, he's a colonel. You damn straight I'm going to work for him. Going to be the best organization ever. Until you get there. And you see the loss of transparency, motivation, complacency, not the loss of complacency, the sheer, pure 100% complacency. Sitting in a position for 30 years, doing nothing for the organization. It happens. It happens, and it's heartbreaking. It's hard to watch. It's hard to see. And here comes the dangerous part. I'm getting to a point. I'll wrap this up. I'm waiting. She hasn't given it to me yet, but I'm going to get to my point. Here's the dangerous part of those particular leaders. If that leader is doing it knowingly, they know they're selfish, they know they're only looking out for themselves, they don't care about the organization or anyone involved in it, anyone's family members involved in it, any customer, when they don't have the passion to do the very best for those individuals, that's wrong. That's a poor leader, and pray to God it comes back to him or her one day and they learn. Bad leader. The second part is a leader that doesn't know, that they genuinely don't know what they're doing wrong. But yet they hear it. Complaints, emails, phone calls. Good, solid leaders are leaving their organization. Customers complaining. They have lawsuits, right? When they're going after this leader, and he doesn't know what he's doing wrong. Just as dangerous. So both excuses, both leadership types are dangerous, depending on the organization. Is the level of danger? They're all dangerous, but the level, if you're in a safety kind of environment where you put people's lives in danger, wrong and wrong. Wrong if you're doing it on purpose, wrong if you don't know you're doing it. Poor leadership. If you're in education, you imagine such a poor leader that surrounded himself with poor leaders are the first part of young men and women's lives, starting them out for the rest of their life. Whether they choose, this is all the way through high school and they're getting ready to graduate, making decisions based on their leadership. Because what else do they have to go to and find out what they need to do? Their parents, right, got them to where they are now, their teachers along the way. But then that individual on that last important step, and I'm telling you, graduating seniors, congratulations to all of you. And I can just pray that you've had some good, solid leadership. The ones who witness and live by that poor leadership day in and day out, that poor leader changed their mind. Once, if it's a Marine, 06 or E9, I definitely don't want to do that. You have just potentially destroyed the next Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, the next Commandant of the Marine Corps, by your selfishness or your ignorance. It's one of the two. So that's that part. You hear me say this a lot too. You have to detach. And there's some indicators right off the bat. Good people leaving your organization. Hard to find people to come to your organization. You're losing money. You're losing customers. Unhappy customers. I mean, the list goes on. Lawsuits. People are coming after you. They want to know who's in charge of you, who's above you. All those questions, you got at some point, you got to say, wow, I'm doing something wrong. Right? Let me ask. And then you dig up those old after actions reports. You dig up those old, it's all there in black and white. So it only leads me to the first of those dangerous people, the selfish ones, the money hungry ones, the power hungry ones. Those destroy institutions, organizations, schools, units, destroy it. And it's sad. It's sad to watch. All right, that was my rant on the dangers of poor leadership. Anybody need to catch up with? She's giggling down there.
Just smiling because I'm happy.
She's smiling because she's happy. What's in your coffee cup? All right. Carl Green says, MOS later became MU platoon commander. Oh, my platoon commander got himself in trouble for not following his training. 11 Bravo Rangers are lead the way infantry. 25 Bravo Isaiah. What is 25 Bravo? We're learning MOSs for the Army now too. Old Jyrene talking to Carrie Ann Marie Potts. I prefer to skip the buddy check when it comes to ticks. A tick buddy check. Old Jyrene bringing it back. Camp Lejeune. You must have been stationed in Camp Lejeune. The buddy check. Let me tell you a story about a buddy check I did. Adrian Robles. Lay Cook, you still here? Not to call him out by name, but that's one of our boys from way back. We were doing some engineer work, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. The woods are dense and deep and full of ticks, fleas, lions, tigers, and bears. They got all of it out there. Snakes, crab, poison poison oak. They got everything in there. What else? Gators. I mean, who knows? The jungles of Lejeune are brutal. So after every patrol, every check, every time you're in the field, you do a tick buddy check, old Jyrene, where you gotta search your buddy's body, the butt cheeks, everything, because there's ticks. They get on you, you can't see them. Sometimes you can feel them, but you can't see them. You gotta get them off quick. One day we're doing a buddy check, and you check yourself first, right? You check what you can see. I don't need anybody checking what I can see. But then at one point, all of a sudden, Robles busts out his K-bar, and he got one. Got a tick on his belly. And he was getting out. He's like, I got to get this off. He's kind of freaking out and digging and digging and digging. Blood's pouring down his. He's going to get this baby. I'm going to get it. Boom, got it. Started messing with it, looking at it. He said, I got this baby. I got it. He's like, uh-oh. It's not a tick after all. It's a mole. Beauty mark. Something that was part of his skin. Too funny. Now he's got a scar. So nobody wanted to buddy check him for ticks anymore. He told me, I found one back here, Robles. He'd hand you his K-bar. Get rid of that baby. Nope. Ticks. I'm telling you. It was Camp Geiger. I'm telling you, Lejeune, never stationed there. I had plenty of training there. Schools all over Camp Lejeune. It's infested with stuff. Remember, we found a trailer, a little mobile home, a tiny one. It was hot and blazing. Some of the Marines went in there, tried to get a little rest. They went in there, all of a sudden, two of them came running out. There was about 1 billion bed bugs. Oh, gross.
So Carl Green said he was saying he trained a second lieutenant, but he didn't follow the training he gave him.
Was later relieved his command for not following MOS guidance. I'm telling you, Carl, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. We got a couple of lieutenant stories like that, but it's, again, we have lieutenant questions all the time, and what makes a good lieutenant? Those new getting ready to, those you in college getting ready to be a young Marine lieutenant, listen to your enlisted. Yes, you're still in charge. You're the commander overall. Got it. Everyone knows you are in charge. Listen to the experience, right? The ones who've been there, done that over and over and over again, and work together. I'm not steering you wrong on purpose. All right, John McJunkin. All my drill instructors were 1,000% squared away Marines. Unfortunately, they had me within their platoon. I think it's why they each left or retired early. You drove them to retirement, I'm sure. I wish I was your drill instructor, Big Junk, and we would have had a good time. We have fantastic marine establishment here in Boise, Idaho, says Randall. Birthday celebration, etc. You're my guest when you visit. We're all coming, Randall. You know that. Doc, SFMF, have a good night. See y'all on Sunday. Doc, simplify, my friend. Appreciate you always. Glad you can hang out with us for a little bit. I don't even know what time it is. I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to hit these next two topics, so I promise. Sometimes I rant a little bit. Thanks, Doc. Simplify, brother. We'll see you soon. Red Raven, this is Crazy Gunsmith that I decided to let Marines play in the shop. Now they have snacks and treats and something to entertain them with so I can work. You can put out a box of crayons, brother. That'll keep them busy for a little while. You can lead a horse to water. That saying is true. Yes, with the Option 40 contract holders now attend Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, RASP, first, then go to Airborne School. Our Army does some training. They spend a lot of time in training. David Bryant, all of his DIs were Vietnam vets. Whoo. Good night, Doc. 30 minutes to LZ. Thanks, Carl. Brad Burns, Semper Fi, brother. Hasta la vista, baby. From the producer to Doc.
They say it like that.
Hasta la vista, baby. Invite to all. Randall, careful. It's a big channel. We're all coming. Bravo Zulu. Everyone knows what Bravo Zulu means? Combat Medic. Stumbled onto your platform and I like what I hear. Subscribe. Thank you, Combat Medic. Army Medic. For those of you that don't know, we call her Navy Corpsman Doc or Corpsman. And Army medics are called medics. Army corpsmen are called medics. Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you. Again, one team. We bag on the other services more than the Army, so hang out. We love you all. One team. Combat medic. Man, I'm telling you, nothing but mad respect. I've seen some corpsmen and I've seen some medics when we make it back to the hospital and country. All Army. The corpsmen are with us on the battlefield, and whenever we go back, tell the story of a Army medic, small female, she was tiny, brought someone back. Is Colonel Holt still here? Was it as soon as the helicopter landed, the Marine needed immediate care, and you gotta get him out of the helicopter and wheel him into the room and then start working. This Army combat medic, small female, jumped on the gurney with the Marine as they were willing. She was, I'm telling you, working instantly and nonstop.
Did you see what where'd it go? Bryce is here. Bryce Weber is here.
Who is?
Bryce.
Bryce Wilborg. Where you at, brother? Good to see you.
Oh, Ranger Motivator had asked, do you have any advice for me while I'm about to hit the airborne school?
Ranger Motivator asked, any advice headed to Ranger School?
Airborne.
Airborne School.
It's not really our...
Here's how you get your first night jump. During the day, just close your eyes. I don't know. I think there's some kind of joke to that. Why does he need night jumps? Every time he jumps, he closes his eyes anyway. No, I mean, I don't know because I've never been there. But I can tell you in general, as a service member, never quit or give up. I mean, that's advice from day one in boot camp. Day one in boot camp, never quit or give up. I'm sure the Army uses that phrase as well. And that's all there is to it. Pray that you don't get injured and just listen to the instruction, wear your PPE, do exactly as the instructors, the experts tell you. Never doubt, never question. Do it in airborne school. I know it's intense. Be loud, move fast. Where's Hot Rod? Hot Rod's out killing bears. That's where he is. Hot Rod will tell you best advice he's ever given, and he obviously received it somewhere. Be loud and move fast. That's boot camp in a nutshell right there. So do your very, very best. That's all we can ask for.
Can you wait real quick too? One of the other guys said diesel. He said, "Thank you for your service, sir. With 3-7 weapons coming in the 2000s, 2 tours, 3 years. Many great Marines got out due to crap leadership and burnt out."
I'm telling you, that's such a, that was danger. What was his name? Diesel. Diesel says again, many deployments. He was 3-7 Iraq, Great Battalion. A lot of Marines got out due to bad leadership. I'm telling you, that's the danger of poor leadership. We're losing some good, solid Marines. That organization I just worked out, they lost some great individuals, some of the best Marines I ever worked with, taken out due to poor leadership. Boy, and that's you as a leader. Come on, how do you not recognize that when good leaders are leaving, good people are leaving, some of the very best leave your organization? Oh, it must be them. It must be personal. You said that about one guy, maybe two, but when it's multiple, people want to get as far away and don't even want to let people know that they used to work there. They don't want to be associated to that place at all. That's how you know you are doing something wrong. If you don't know, that's dangerous leadership. If you do know, that's dangerous leadership. That's the dangers of poor leadership. Ranger says, one time, me and my battalion ran about 30, 35 miles without stopping. It was grueling. Sounds like fun. Yes, that's awesome. 35 miles running without stopping. Never quit. Get out of the easy way. Graduate on time. Nothing worth it. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. John McJunkin, advice from an old Marine to the upcoming paratrooper. Here you go. Ranger motivator from John McJunkin. Tell them you have bad knees and you won't have to jump from high places. Think, son. Sometimes McJunkin has some good advice. That's not one of them. M. Lance, what's my favorite rifle? That's a good one. Again, I know they're working on an M something right now, a new rifle for the Marine Corps. It's bigger, better, stronger, faster. Actually, it's lighter. I saw a short clip on it. Don't know enough about it. I'm a big fan of the M4. Huge fan. I grew up with the M16A2. Fired the A1 when I first got to boot camp. M16A2 most of my career until the M4 came out. Love that big with the collapsible stock and the shorter barrel. And here's why. Imagine a bigger guy with all that gear on. And, I had food all over my stuff. And trying to get into a Humvee or an MRAP or those vehicles that look cool as crap, but they're uncomfortable and they're small. So getting an M16A2 out of there can be pretty tough. So collapse the stock, the barrel is shorter on an M4, in and out. It was accurate. I had no problem with it. I'm sure there's better weapon systems coming out now. But same, Lance, I love the M4. Absolutely. So much. I bought a couple after I got out. Love them. David Bryan says, saw a Space Force photo and NCO had a chest full of salad when they get the ribbons for. The only thing, David Bryan, I'll give you this, most of the Space Force was Air Force that transferred over. So one, the Air Force,
Marines too.
or anyone that goes to Space Force,
Stalker, what's his name?
Oh, yeah. So they didn't get them from just being in the Space Force, I'm guessing. So whatever military service they came from, they wear their same stuff. And Air Force, Air Force just throws ribbons at their uniform. Never any Air Force out there. Mark 18 is very nice, says Adam East. M4 is cool because it's in Call of Duty. Yeah. Cool. Once you fire a real one, you'll know the difference. That's Adam East right there, David. Most are from the Air Force. Yeah, I'm guessing a majority. All the leadership is because they had to start somewhere. So those are all Air Force. Those are all airmen. Ranger motivator. Ever since I was 14, I've been wanting to be a Ranger. And I have met my expectations. Congratulations, bro. What a great story. 14. I'm telling you, how awesome is that to actually follow through, live up to your dreams, your expectations, your own personal expectations. You probably there. Tell me you didn't go through times where you didn't think you'd be able to do it. Awesome, Ranger. Proud of you, brother. Uh, David Ryan, thanks for clarifying. So I'm and Adam, yeah, David, it's got to be. However, their rack has probably doubled since they've been in the Space Force. Favorite rifle is the M1 Garand. I like the M1 Garands for drill. They look good in drill. Never fired one. Right, all the ones I've messed with have been for drill. It's a good drilling weapon, rifle. They're not weapons because they're demilitarized. They cannot fire. Enemy says, we're in a weird ribbon time in the Corps now. I saw a barracks Marine corporal with one ribbon. And now, he has a Navy Achievement Medal, but nothing else. A corporal, that is interesting. Right, for the longest time, the Fire Watch ribbon, the National Defense Service Medal, was given out for decades. And then a corporal, I'm guessing he's been in long enough to receive a Good Conduct Medal and maybe a unit something. Wow, with just a name. It's interesting. Yeah, it is a weird time. I remember when we did that. I have a 300 Win Mag also. David Bryant loved that baby. We did that, the video with the drill instructor on MCRD, and a lot of people were bagging on he only had 3 or 4 ribbons. And like, oh, he hasn't deployed, he hasn't done this, he's done nothing, he's done that. Bro, it's the time the era that you're in. Every one of my drill instructors, that era was era. There was no combat. So every one of my drill instructors had 3 or 4 ribbons. And recruits don't care. They don't know. It means nothing to them.
They might know nowadays just because
Nowadays, because of social media, maybe recruits know, but they don't know. And I remember there was a part as a drill instructor, we did a moto day or something. I think we only did it one cycle where the drill instructors were supposed to put some of their citations, their awards, so the recruits can see and can read a citation and get the kind of era feeling of their drill instructors who combat veterans. But that's again, whatever era that you're in. And my first 4 years, again, we did nothing. So as a young corporal, I don't even remember. I don't remember when I got my first national defense, of course, and then sea service. Most Marines go overseas in their first 4 years. So, and it's interesting.
Adam East, you see that one?
No, Adam
He
East.
got his first unit award last year.
First unit award in 13 years. So it's just the era that you're in. So those drill instructors are still motivators. There's just nothing has come up in their short career. All right, Poolee Davis from John McJunkin's crew. Finished with MEPS. ASVAB was high. Thinking of what career field I qualify for. Any advice besides doing my time as an 03? You know me enough well enough by now that yes, I would say 03 first. With a high ASVAB score, though, you're going to have a multitude of MOSs open up. Maybe Adam East can chime in on that, but depending on your score, the higher it is, it just opens up more MOSs, those high technical ones. Aircraft mechanic always comes to mind because that takes a high ASVAB score, but any of the technical fields, and what a lot of people say is, what do you want to do after the Corps? Pick an MOS that's going to help you once you get out. You don't know right now if you're going to stay for 4 or make it a career and retire. You can move and make a lateral move on your first enlistment from 03 to an MOS that you want. It's possible. Far and few in between, it's difficult to do, but it is possible. I've seen many of them. It's just not easy. And it has to be on your reenlistment. And your 2 criteria, your MOS has to be full, and the MOS you want to go into has to need Marines. So the needs of the Corps come into play, but I'm telling you, it's right there. Adam East says 03, 02, and 06. 02 is Intel, 06 is COM, 03 is ERA. So 6100, aircraft mechanic. Get with your recruiter, and with your score, look at every single MOS that you qualify for, and then dig. if we only had the device that we held in our pocket that we can ask questions and find out what you want to do. He scored an 88. Adam Ace, you got any calm on that? 88. That is a good score. So I'm guessing you have quite a bit of options. Look at Haywood Pittman, 0300, 0311 infantry. You made it. Two things. Depends on what you want to do. I tell you about a colleague of mine for the longest time. He used to tell cadets, ROTC, JROTC cadets, you join the Marine Corps to be a Marine. Your MOS is secondary. So it's what you want to do. 5th Marines, most highly decorated battalion in the Marine Corps, 2-5. Get some retreat hell. Why? Who?
Brian said you need eye drops.
Oh, my eyes red. You know what? I watched Wednesdays, Sundays, and my eyes were looking red too. No, I'm not rubbing them. Adamy says, I love flying, so I highly recommend 6100 and trying to become an air crew as well. They work a ton, but good for you when you get out. I'm with you, Adam Ace. Again, I told the story. I don't know. I didn't know much about the air wing till I got there as the air station sergeant major, and I learned a whole new respect for the air wing, and it is great for when you get out. DuPont says, also when enlisting, when you want to do a specific MOS and they tell you it's not available, walk away because they'll all of a sudden find an opening for you. DuPont. Sounds like you're speaking from experience. And someone did in the comments, I never got back to him yet. Someone in the comments said he was offered, help me out, producer. He was offered an MOS. He didn't want it. And at first the recruiter said, no big deal. But then he offered him another one. And he's like putting pressure on him to take that second MOS. What do I do? And you'll hear me. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. If it's not what you want, don't do it. Wait, just like DuPont says, walk away, right? You're still going to be on the top of your recruiter's pad. He's going to call you. He's not going to give up on you. He's going to try and do his very best to find out what he can. The recruiter has a job to fill specific MOSs at specific times. So I can't get you this, but I can get you this, and you can ship out the exact day. Oh, that's what it was. The MOS he wanted, they wanted him to ship early, like October. He couldn't ship in October, but he still wanted that MOS. When he is available to ship, that MOS is not open. What do I do? And my wait for what you want. It's going to hurt the recruiter a little bit. He'll find someone. But don't get yourself in a situation where you're already not comfortable with what you're doing. This is a life-changing event. So why not make it exactly what you want to do? Where are you laughing at? Enemy says, old guy in the bar I worked for before the Corps, he told me he was in the Marines and had the best job ever. He was a water purifier. The utilities guys, water purifier. What's that big water purifier called? ROPU, right? Reverse osmosis purifier unit. Water purifier, loved it. David Bryant, can we call the producer Mama? Yes, you can. Approved. Request approved. The Marines take NATO-born people, or you need to be U.S. born. You don't have to be U.S. born. You can get your citizenship while you're in the Marines.
15 minutes to LZ.
Talk to your recruiter. 15 minutes to LZ. Is it a hot LZ? We don't like hot LZs. Poolee Palantin asks from John McJunkin's crew, how easy would it be to go infantry as my first career field, but switch to military police? I want to be a cop one day after my service in the Corps. So it is possible. That's called a lat move, a lateral move. Not easy. It's not an easy process. Maybe it is in today's Corps. 2 criteria you got to meet. Your MOS has to be willing to let you go. So the infantry has to say, you know what, we have enough infantrymen. He can go. The accepting MOS, the MPs, have to say, yes, we need more MPs. Let him come over. So do some homework, do some research. Um, in combat, a lot of O3s act as MPs. So you're not going to be standing in the gate. Well, you are going to be standing gate patrol. You're going to go on patrols. You're going to do all things MPs do, but just in a combat environment. So I wanted to be an MP also. I want to be a dog handler MP. Um, so it's possible. It definitely can happen. Ranger motivated. Have a great night, day. I got to go to bed. URAH and URAH. Ranger motivated. Thanks for being here, brother. We'll see you again. We'll be back on Sunday, this coming Sunday. Hopefully you can make it. Get after it. Get ready for that airborne school. Never quit or give up. URAH. Enemies got me. I'll push. Trying to type. What did enemies do? Timothy. Ra.
He didn't capitalize Marines.
Oh, didn't capitalize Marines. Yes, you owe us. MPs. David Bryan says MPs are usually a closed MOS, hard advancement. I have heard that it's hard to get promoted in the MPs. The MP dog handler world is even smaller. Again, I wanted to be an MP. I don't know why. For the longest time, just so because you're doing your job every single day, right? Infantry, you're training and training and training and training. You do your job when you go to combat. MPs every day. I don't know if I'd want to pull over Marines though. I'd like to be at the gate, see what kind of shenanigans happen at the main gate, especially Friday night, Saturday night. I mean, take care of Marines, make sure they're safe, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I have heard numerous times it's hard to get promoted in the MPs. Timothy was a former 1812. I don't know what that is, and 03, so not much input on MPs. Enemy says they downsized the MOS a lot too. MPs, that's probably why you think it'd be easier to get promoted if they downsized it, but they downsized it. This was still active duty when they started putting civilians at the gates. That was during Iraq and OIF and OEF to get more Marines to the fight. So they started that big push on civilians. I think most of them were prior service Marines, so good on them. Some were straight up civilians. Had a run-in with one, a straight civilian, just didn't get the whole Marine feel. Did I want special favors because I was a sergeant major and coming on base early in the morning? I didn't have a shirt on because I just got done surfing. Yes, I did. I didn't want him to say, you got to put a shirt on. He stopped me and wouldn't let me go on base until I put my shirt on, which was in the back of my truck. Accountability. Held me accountable. Good on him. I was mad. There's nothing I can do because he was right. I was wrong. Well, Lance Corporal say, go ahead, Sergeant Major. Poor. LZ is green. All right. Good to hear. 1812 is Abrams crewman. I got rid of the tanks, Timothy. That's why you went from 1812 to 03. Man, DuPont. Yes, I am retired. I'm waiting on that call. Still waiting on the call for them to say, we need you back. The Corps is in chaos. We hurry. I don't know if I'll ever get that. Combat Medic says good contact and what?
Discussion. I have my alert set. I will be back.
Thanks, Medic. Medic up. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support and motivation. I'm just so glad to have you. Was I agreeing? Yeah, but it's only base points. My wife was pulled over with her mother and got a ticket. Her name was wrong on the ticket, so was her date of birth. She still got points taken off. Tell you the biggest mistake Marine Corps Base Hawaii made when I was there was giving me a ticket book as a sergeant major. Oh yeah, I was writing some tickets. In fact, wasn't there somebody on the comments one of the shows said you wrote me a ticket for parking in the red zone? You were parked in the red zone. They gave the sergeant's major on Marine Corps Base Hawaii a ticket book. Yes, loved it. Right, I'll drive around, purposely go to the exchange. I'll go to the annex. The annex was the biggest one, if you know Marine Corps Base Hawaii, because the cleaners was right there. So they just roll up, no parking. There's only like 5 spots and 2 handicap spots, and the rest of it was red curb. Even the dirt. I'll get them every time.
I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jim Bob. It was out of control.
Yep. And the first thing I would do, here's what I learned, because you can start a ticket and you don't have to finish it until you sign it. So as soon as I would pull up and I saw a car in the red zone, I'd sign that baby and tell, hey, I can't. I've signed it. I have to turn this ticket in. There you go. Tell you what, it was safer over there. What if a fire truck had to get in there and your lazy butt didn't want to walk 100 feet to the front door? You wanted to walk 10 feet. Lazy.
No, listen. If a fire truck had to park there, they would have more fun four-wheel driving on top of that vehicle. You just took away fun from the firemen.
Fire hydrant, right? I like to see those. Look at those. Firemen break a window because the car is parked at a fire hydrant, right? Blocking it. They just bust out a window, bust out the other window, and hook it up. There you go. Congratulations. You just got 2 new windows. All right, David Ryan, we had to call the captain anytime we pulled over an officer. That would be fun, too. Just kidding, officers. We love you, too.
Oh, did you say that Poolee Gutierrez asked?
No.
What would be the best time to try for a lateral move to another career field?
So the only time, the question was, what would be the best time to put in for a lat move to another MOS? The only time you're authorized to do a lat move is during a re-enlistment. So your contract is up, you've done your time in your MOS. Again, those 2 criteria, your MOS is willing to let you go, and the gaining MOS is willing to take you on as a new 0311 era. So that's when you have to do it. That'd be interesting, David Bryant. Again, I wonder if those incidences happened when a Lance Corporal pulls over a colonel, right? He can easily be intimidated by the colonel. The colonel can be an ASS and say, you lost your mind. A good, solid, confidence and bearing Marine will be very professional and still get the ticket. I did have a Marine pulled me over one time. I was a first sergeant in Okinawa. I remember what I was doing. I think it was a seatbelt violation. I was in an old junky beat up car I borrowed from somebody. It was JT's car. And the MP pulled me over. Lance Corporal came up, very professional, was doing his job. I think it maybe rolled through a stop sign. I mean, it was something very, very minor. And he recognized I was a first sergeant. Again, very respectful. I was already trying to talk myself out of the ticket until I said I was with 2-5. That's where I went. It went downhill from there, because the night before 2-5, some of our Marines got in a little scuffle at 9th Com Battalion Barracks, and there's some fighting. Marines being Marines, right? Infantry Marines being infantry Marines to 9th Crime Battalion. Turns out this MP was there to break up the fight. It was chaos, and we were all there. I didn't recognize him at the time. But he said, yeah, I was just, you guys, you boys, he got a little attitude. You grunts over there causing hate and discontent, and what the heck? Well, you got to be kidding me. Marine's supposed to be, leadership. Started attacking my leadership. I said, bro, it happens. Relax. Sorry to hear that. Had to ruin your night, but that's the only excitement you get as an MP on base. He said, yeah, but look what you did to my finger. And his pinky was going the wrong direction. We had somebody allegedly had broken his pinky. So he was a little upset. Needless to say, I got the points taken away from me. All right, Poolee, Junkin, first from the producer. Thanks, Carl. We'll link, but on the road, so nothing on hand. All right, John McJunkin, and then I got to start landing this plane. Poolee Castillo asks, my fiance and I are looking to get married after my first enlistment and before my possible re-enlistment. Do you think I'm still rushing things still or not? No, I think that's great. In fact, you're being very, very, very patient. I think that's great that you're looking to the future and setting all that up. And I think it's probably even a better idea to wait and see how your first enlistment goes. I have a feeling you might get married before your first enlistment's up. Write that down. Somebody write that down, and we'll see him in a couple years. I bet you get married before your first enlistment is up. But I don't think that's too early or too late. I love the fact that you're planning it. You're mapping it out. So good on you. And congratulations, by the way, on your engagement. Interested to see when you get married. All right. David Bryant says, wait till you're an NCO. Another good point. So the camaraderie in the barracks has kind of dwindled since you're in your own rooms now, 2-man, 3-man rooms, not as much as it used to be an open squad bay. A married Marine, married Lance Corporal especially, you get kind of far removed from the camaraderie of the platoon. I like that. Oh, Jerry, and that's smart. David Bryan said that. From the producer, support the channel and get your SFMF merch here. There's the link. Hoodies, sweatshirts, this shirt right here. Getting into the colder season, we have hoodies. Still pretty multiple different colors, sizes, t-shirts. We still have koozies, lanyards, stickers. Get them all while they're hot. We are on the move, but we have the ability to make it happen. So what holidays are coming up? Marine Corps birthday. Oh, what a good Marine Corps birthday gift. A nice SFMF shirt. I'm telling you, it draws attention. People love to ask what it stands for. And ask them first if they're military. If I don't know,
we need to do a birthday special shirt.
Then ask them if they're a Marine. And then as soon as I say, are you a Marine? I think you know what it means. A birthday. Here's a needed answer in the comments. Should the producer make a 250th birthday SFMF shirt? There's a ton out there right now. This is a big deal. 250th birthday. There's a lot. There's some I even want to purchase, but I'm like, no. Uh-oh. Look at Lake Cookie's comment.
And we'll drop it off when we stop by.
Oh, we'll drop it off when we stop by. We're going to hand deliver this one. And Lake Cookie, that rifle, Lake Cookie, ancmetalworks.com. Write that down, ancmetalworks.com. Check out his stuff. Obviously, we're not at home. We don't have the Semper Fi, my friend logo. We don't have the American flag. Brilliant pieces of art. Metalworks. He made an M4, the size of an M4. It's 36 inches, 2 versions, all black. Oh, God, it's amazing. One has USMC 1775 in it. He's going to put an eagle over an anchor. Amazing pieces of art. Lake Cookie, is that on your website? Do you have those? And that devil dog, that's the devil dog face I use. I have one on my surfboard. I have one on my coin. It's on my YouTube. I love that logo that you did, the 2 dogs facing each other, anchors inboard. So I'm going to come shopping. I still owe you, but when we stop by, I'm doing some shopping. I'm going to bring my credit card. Awesome. Lake Cookie. Check out his website. You're going to fall in love. And if you mention SFMF, is that still, Lake Cookie still down? 10% off if you mention SFMF sent you to his website. Amazing work, brother. Old Irene, can we get the Eagle Globe and Anchor on the SFMF shirts? Randall Knapp wants one. Put the Eagle Globe and Anchor on them shirts. Motivation. I want a 250. I just want a big 250. And then a small SFMF underneath it. Something like that. Or maybe SFMF on the back. But 250 is a big deal. We're alive for this, so we definitely want to get out there. Tim Fronimos, ex-U.S. Navy Reserve vet, checking in. Good to see you, shipmate. We're getting ready to land this helicopter right now, but we'll be back on Sunday. Like and subscribe. We'll see you Sunday. Ramnat says, I love my USMC shirts, and Ellie wears them daily. Greetings from Ellie. What's happening, Ellie? One of our CCs is an Ellie. You may see her one day.
Doubt it.
After you see me.
Yeah, you'll see Ellie after you see the producer. Maybe. I don't know who's going to be first. CC number 2, 5, or the producer. It's a race to see who can hold out the longest. But good. Let us know in the comments again on the shirt. Should we do a birthday shirt? right there in the producer put on ancmetalworks.com for that brilliant, right there from Lay Cookie.
No,
Thank you.
support Mike.
Support Lay Cookie. You gotta see the artwork. Good night to all from David Bryant. Love you, brother. Again, thank you for all the prayers and well wishes. We got your back, David Bryant, brother. Good to see you. So glad you're back. Randall Knapp says she wants to meet everyone. Awesome. It's going to happen. Old Jyrene says yes. So it's done. 250 shirt. 250 shirt. All right, everybody. Man, another awesome evening with all of you. Thank you very much for your support. Patriotism and AMA. That'll be Sunday. We're going to talk about those two on Sunday. Land in this helicopter. God bless you all. And Semper Fi, my friends. Farewell.
I'm going to make you freeze like that. Just freeze. Just freeze. Just freeze.